It's all about the darts celebrations. Spurs get the 3 points at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs are now back in the top four.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs winning. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Spurs in the Media, where I'll be going through all of today's newspapers, looking at all of the player ratings from the game. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Brentford 2. Spurs are back in the top four. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's get straight into it, and let's start with a report from the Daily Mail today. And the main heading states, Brennan hits Bullseye to silence Malfi Maupay. They have published a couple of photographs here. The first one, Neil Maupay scoring and celebrating in front of the South Stand at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Of course, doing James Maddison's darts celebration. They've also published a picture here of Destiny Udogie equalising after 48 minutes. They have also published a photograph here of Brennan Johnson. It states here, last laugh, a minute after Udogie's goal, Brennan Johnson scores and the darts are out again. The report states that tensions bristled in North London from the moment Maupay fired the visitors into the first half lead and celebrated with Ivan Toney by copying Maddison's dart celebration in front of the home end. Maupay could not resist a word in Maddison's ear as he trotted back for the restart. The Spurs playmaker responded and they become locked in an argument. I said to him he probably hasn't scored enough goals of his own in the last couple of years, so he had to copy my celebration, revealed Maddison afterwards, and then the two players took their feud onto social media. The England midfielder posted a photo of Maupay scoring and celebrating, followed by a photo of the scoreline, writing, short story, come on you Spurs. Maupay replied by posting, went too early with the celebration, more goals and less relegations in my career than James Maddison. So, of course, Brentford took the lead in the first half through Neil Maupay after 15 minutes. Destiny Udogie equalised for Spurs after 48 minutes. Johnson put Spurs 2-1 up after 49 minutes. Richarlison then made it 3 after 56 minutes. Ivan Toney got a second for Brentford after 67 minutes. Now, can't stop scoring. Tottenham have scored in each of their last 34 Premier League games. That's the fourth highest streak in the competition's history. Arsenal 55, Manchester United 36, Liverpool 36, and Tottenham now 34. This was the first time Spurs won a Premier League game without either Harry Kane or Heung-min Son playing in 1,837 days. Now, the attendance at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was 61,210. The player ratings from the Daily Mail today, Vicario at 7, Pedro Porro a 7, Romero a 6.5, Van der Ven a 6.5, Udogie a 7, Skip a 6, Sub Højbjerg a 7, Bentancur a 6, Sub Johnson a 7, Maddison a 6.5, Kulusevski a 7, Richarlison a 7, and they have given man of the match to Timo Werner, 8 out of 10. Now for a report from the Sun newspaper, and it states here, Mads, you can't beat bitter bully. Maupay darts row, but Ange slams Fight Club. Now the match stats from the game, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Brentford 2. Shots, Spurs had 19 to Brentford's 9. Shots on target, Spurs had 5. Brentford also had 5. Possession, Spurs had 68% of the ball to Brentford's 32%. Passes, Spurs 607 to Brentford's 269. Completed passes, Spurs 519 to Brentford's 177. Touches in the opposition box, Spurs 45, Brentford 34. Corners, Spurs had 5 to Brentford's 3. Fouls conceded, Spurs 13, Brentford 15. Yellow cards, Spurs received 2. Brentford received 3. Match time 104 minutes 10 seconds. Ball in play 52 minutes 53 seconds. In the report from the Sun newspaper, it states that James Maddison mocked Neil Maupay for nicking his darts goal celebration as Spurs hit a quick-fire treble to move into the top four. Brentford striker Maupay wound up Spurs by pretending to throw arrows, just as Maddison does after his surprise opener. James Maddison, speaking to the Sun newspaper after the game, he said, "It's lovely to be back, and when you're starved of doing what you love, that game reminded me why I love football. The main question I get asked is what is the aim for Tottenham this year? I don't think the gaffer wants to put a limit on it. There's no ceiling, as there's more chance of something special happening." Maddison then went on to say, "We're only 3 points away from second place. If you don't believe something special can happen, then nothing can ever happen." Now for a report from the Daily Star today, and it's got this picture here of Richarlison scoring Tottenham's third goal of the game. It then says, "Treble tops, mad lads charge to win with 3-goal dart. This was the best darts match since the World Championships down the road at Ali Pali." Now for a report from the Daily Express, and it's got this picture here of Destiny Udogie, Richarlison and Brennan Johnson all celebrating. It says here, "Spurs enjoy last laugh on wind-up merchant Maupay." It's then got a quote from Brentford boss Thomas Frank and said, "Except for the 10-minute blackout, we played a good game. I'm not worried. We beat Nottingham Forest with a good performance. We lost today with a better performance." Now for a report from the Times newspaper, and as I stated, it is all about the goal celebrations, all about the dart celebrations in all of today's reports. This one is from the Times. "Spurs make Maupay sorry for darts taunt." Now the player ratings from the Times newspaper: Vicario a 7, Pedro Porro a 7, Romero a 6, Van der Ven a 7, Udogie a 7, Oliver Skip a 5, Sub Højbjerg a 7, Bentancur a 6, Johnson sub a 7, Kulusevski a 7, Maddison a 7, Timo Werner an 8, Richarlison an 8. Now a report from the Guardian newspaper: Richarlison wraps up feisty win as Spurs see off Brentford fight back. Life is never dull for Tottenham Hotspur fans under Ange Postecoglou after a dire first-half performance that recalled the bad old days of Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte ended with them trailing to Neil Maupay's opener. The Spurs manager's double substitution was the catalyst for victory, as 3 goals in 8 minutes after the break from Destiny Udogie, Brennan Johnson and Richarlison turned this game on its head. Now a report from the Daily Mirror, and it states here, Ange's boys hit Bullseye. Maupay made to pay for dart celebration as Spurs arrow in 3 goals to win contest. This was the best darts match since the World Championships down the road at Ali Pali. The Daily Mirror have then stated here, Brentford striker Neil Maupay is the Premier League's arch wind-up merchant, and yet his antics backfired spectacularly as he only succeeded in winding up Tottenham. Maupay celebrated his opener by mocking James Maddison's famous dart celebration, but it was the Tottenham midfielder who ended up having the last laugh. The player ratings from the Daily Mirror, they have also given Timo Werner man of the match. Vicario a 7, Pedro Porro a 7, Romero a 6, Van der Ven a 7, Udogie a 7, Bentancur a 6, Skip 5, Kulusevski a 6, Maddison a 6, Timo Werner 8 out of 10, and Richarlison 7 out of 10. And lastly, let's hear from Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou. This is what he had to say in his post-match press conference.
Yeah, look, I think we started the game well, and started at a good intensity and sort of good tempo. Obviously, they score, and then we lost our way. We just lost focus. I was a bit frustrated with our sort of inability to sort of stay disciplined, and it was just too many starts, and it kind of plays into their hands. A lot of set pieces, throw-ins. We spent more time talking to the referee than playing the game, and I was just a bit frustrated that we lost real clear focus. And second half, I think 25 minutes, 30 minutes were outstanding. We scored 3 great goals, and probably should have had a couple more, and then sort of we give the goal away, which gives them a little bit of impetus in the game. And again, after that, it was a lot of stop, free kicks, throw-ins, which we had to deal with, and I thought for the large part we dealt with okay. And in the end, I think from our perspective, I think great character shown by the lads to get a win.
What did you put the change at the start of the second half down to?
Well, like I said, I just thought we just needed to get back to concentrating on what's important to us, and that is not sort of spending time arguing with the referee or the opposition, or doing things that aren't going to help us in achieve our objective, and come out and just play our football. And I thought we did. Well, I said for that 25 30 minutes spell, I thought we were outstanding.
There seems to be a bit of needle between the two teams, so sparked what looked like that dart celebration. Did that fire up your team?
I hope not, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. I just don't. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the whole, bravado, pushing people around. If they're that brave about things, my players and their players get into a UFC cage, and I'll see how brave they are. So we're out there to play football, and that's what I want our guys to do. Focus on playing football, and they shouldn't get motivated by things that aren't really that important to us. And like I said, we got sucked in the first half. The second half was much better. Yeah, I thought it was great. First half we probably didn't support him enough in that sort of left channel, and he was kind of a little bit isolated. But second half we got some support, and we got some better service to him. Look, he's a quality player. I think he's proven at this level, and as he gets stronger and fitter and sort of understands our game a little bit better, I think he'll become even more effective. I know there's goals in him as well, and that'll come with time. So I thought he was good. Yeah, it does. I think it's probably something that's hampered us a little bit, because, like I said, if you want to change a game or just throw some fresh energy on, or some, it's still the same sort of quality coming into the game. I think it probably did Brendan a little bit of good because he's played a lot for us recently, and I guess him just sort of sitting watching the game a little bit maybe gave him a little bit of a different perspective. And again, I thought he was good when he came on. Good he got his goal. And I thought him and Pierre helped us at the start of that second half, just gain a foothold in the game. Yeah, it was just cramp. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think he got more and more into the game. Again, he's probably one of the guilty ones. I think he spent more time chatting to the ref in the first half and getting on the ball, and that's not what we want him to do. We want him to play football, and I thought in the second half again, his quality shone through, and he was really, when he's like that, as he is, and I'm sure that game will do him the world of good. Just gives us so much more creative flow through that central area. No, I mean, look, mistakes will happen, mate. I mean, he's a young man, he's learning the game, but, he worked hard. He was instrumental in the first goal, I think, driving through. So obviously he scored, but just his drive, and he continues to present himself. I've got no issues with Destiny. I thought, again, he was good, and, he made a mistake. But, you know what, I made more mistakes than that today, let alone in a career.
When you say about your team getting sucked in a little bit, a lot of that was Neil Morpay. We all know he does that as part of his game. Do you have a problem with it, or do you appreciate it's sort of part of it?
No, I don't have a problem because he's not my player. I don't really care, to be honest, what others do. That's the issue, I guess, for me, is that we concentrate on how are we going to become the team we want to become, and what kind of obstacles do we need to overcome. And part of that is just that maturity and laser focus to not veer away from the importance of a lot of our game is based on fluency and tempo and all those kind of things. And I think there's always going to be natural stoppages in games, particularly a team like Brentford, who a lot of their game is structured around set pieces, long throws. What you don't want to do is add to that with our own sort of wastage of time.
Pete, we'll finish
Ange into the top four now. That second half performance, does it really set you up now for a big push in the second half of the season?
I mean, no, it doesn't make a difference. I think we've been there or thereabouts the whole season, so it's not it's nothing different for us. We just got to, as I said, I think, there's still a lot of growth in this team. Nights like tonight, nights like Friday night, it just shows me that we've still got a long way to go. And within that context, the fact that this team still produces and gets results, I think, is a credit to them. But we need to keep improving in a whole lot of areas. It's good. Some guys got some game time tonight. Pape will be back. I think he's back today, which is good for us. It was good for Radu to get some time. I think it's a short turnaround. We probably got the shortest turnaround, playing 12:30 on Saturday. So probably going to need some fresh bodies, and it's going to be a tough game. So looking forward to it.
And just for the final time in January, anything likely to happen tomorrow on deadline day?
No, as I said yesterday, unlikely, and I guess less likely than yesterday.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.